An intruder broke into my girlfriend's house and got pulverized after getting into a fight with her, and now I can't see my girlfriend the same way anymore. Posted by you/Harcourting. The other night, I was sleeping over at my girlfriend's. She lives one street over from the middle of nowhere, no streetlights, no sidewalks, and keeps her house dark at night, except for the room she's in, to attract bats and deter bugs. I think it was around 2 a.m. when I woke up to my girlfriend telling me to call 911. Long story short, a guy had broken a window into the garage and was going through my car. He had a knife, but my girlfriend has a shotgun, unloaded, and wanted to scare him off with it. The cops really gave us a verbal shakedown for that, by the way. We're effing idiots, don't ever confront a burglar. But this guy was clearly unhinged and charged at us. I don't really remember how it happened, but my girlfriend somehow tripped him, or maybe he tripped on his own, and then started basically tamping this guy's ribcage down into his lungs with the stock. I had to physically stop her. A little bit about my girlfriend: she cries when she sees sick or hurt animals. She's constantly doing, or offering to do, nice things for people. She won't even squish bugs. If she finds any, she catches them and releases them. She's a Buddhist. Nonviolence is important to her. Before this, I would have described her as the gentlest person I knew. So what the F? After I stopped her, she was so calm. She sat cross-legged on the floor and made a call to a lawyer before the cops even got there. No charges for my girlfriend, yet. The lawyer has been helpful, the cops, less so. They wanted to arrest me when they arrived for some reason. And my girlfriend actually had to ask for an ambulance for the guy because they tried to just load him into the police car, despite the fact that he was screaming and moaning. He lived but is still in the hospital. It's been 2 days since this happened, and I still feel like my heart is racing. Every time I see my girlfriend, I see her covered in blood with a shotgun. It hasn't changed how I feel about her, but goddamn, it's changed how I see her. Relevant comments. Commenter. Your girlfriend is a badass. You should be proud that she is willing and able to protect herself, her home and the people in it. How would you look at her if this man had beaten and raped her? Stabbed you? Do you really see her differently, or are you projecting because you did nothing? Ops response. I see her differently, but I still love her. I'm just having trouble reconciling my previous view of her with this one. She's always been very confident, and I feel very safe with her. I think I feel even safer with her now. And to the person who said I felt emasculated, rereading this post, I see what you mean. I did feel useless in the moment. I wish I had done more. And I still kind of blame myself for letting her do that, even though I know it's illogical. I'm working through it. We both are. But honestly, my girlfriend seemed to have it handled, and I'm more than willing to let her protect me. We get that excuse me, he said no pickles meme from like 75% of the people who meet us. Op expands on the feeling emasculated part. It's something I'm going to have to work through. I don't really feel like I, as the man, should have been the one to take this guy down, but I'm already hearing that from family and friends and stupidly letting it get to me. Something to discuss at my emergency therapy appointment next week. Commenter 2. I don't understand the cops getting on you guys about a burglar in the house. Like, WTF? You're supposed to just sit in a corner waiting 10 minutes while this guy makes off with your things? And then the cops get there, he's gone, and they're just standing there looking at each other? Police only help after a crime has been committed. But anyway, I think your girlfriend was probably scared for her life. Ops response. Yes, basically. And it took them 37 minutes to get there. And bold of you to assume they help in that case too. Op adds an edit to his post. Clarifying a few things. I didn't think this would get any attention. First, my girlfriend is doing well, all things considered. Someone was worried that the blood was hers, but the guy came in pre-wounded because there were bloody handprints on my car. He was definitely on something. My girlfriend is currently taking a bunch of medication since she was exposed to his blood. She hasn't talked much about what happened, and I'm not going to push her right now. I am worried about her, and I am taking care of her. I've been staying with her since this happened. And feeding her. Someone suggested baking a cake. I am a professional chef. Also, apparently, an idiot. After this, I'm going to the store. A lot of people seem to think my view of her has changed for the worse. That is deeply untrue. Rereading my post, I realize I made it sound that way, so that's my fault. It's still pretty fresh in my mind, and I'm processing things as I go. I was just having difficulty reconciling this new view of her with who I thought she was before, but I realize now that she hasn't changed. I just learned more about her. And what I learned is that she's a certified badass, to quote many of you in the comments. Also, a lot of people are calling me out for not helping more. Don't get me wrong, I feel guilty that I didn't do much other than call 911 in the moment. I don't want to sound like I'm making excuses for myself because I was absolutely scared crapless, but my girlfriend didn't really give me a chance to help. This all happened very quickly. By the time she woke me up, She was already armed and out of bed. I'm deaf in one ear and a heavy sleeper anyway, so I'm glad she woke me up at all. I'm not sure why the shotgun wasn't loaded, she only told me afterward. I was expecting her to shoot him, not beat him half to death. About the cops, I won't get into it, but my girlfriend has had issues with the local cops before. She lives in a town that barely qualifies for its own police department, and the one they do have has nothing to do 99% of the time. They seemed like they were in a rush to get finished with us the whole time they were there. I think they were probably pissed off that they got called out on the 4th of July for something that actually required paperwork. Thank you to everyone in the comments. I've read every single one so far. There's a lot of good advice there, and a good amount of deserved criticism, which I am open to. How else do you improve? Update 8 months later. I don't know if anyone remembers me, but a while ago, my girlfriend and I had a home invasion incident that culminated in her beating the crap out of the intruder. I'm tired of saying my girlfriend, so I'm going to call her Diana. It turns out the guy was a substance addict from the next town over. He was in his 60s and had an extensive history in jail and mental hospitals. Unfortunately, about 2 months after my post, he passed away. We didn't know anything about why until we had a chance to talk to his sister, who insisted she didn't blame Diana and that the doctors even said he probably didn't have much longer anyway. Diana was visibly distressed during this conversation, so I'm not sure whether the sister just said that to comfort her. After that, Diana went on a trip to a national park during a week she knew I couldn't take off, and forgot her meds. She has seizures that resemble mild psychosis/magical thinking and ended up refusing to come home at the end of the trip. She kept saying that she felt like she couldn't leave the woods because she was certain there was something she needed to learn there that she hadn't yet, and when I asked her how long that might take, she said, "Some people take a lifetime." I asked if she was breaking up with me, and she said something about feeling like she was too attached to me, her house, her pets, etc., and that she needed to meditate on that for a while. I ended up going to her temple to see if anyone was willing to give me some perspective on the situation since she was seeing things through a Buddhist lens. It was the right choice. A monk actually drove 6 hours out to her with me to talk to her in person since she wasn't picking up calls. I am so unbelievably grateful for that monk because Diana started taking her meds again and came home soon after. I've never been religious, but I started reading the Pali Canon afterward, and that really slaps. Diana was already volunteering her time at the temple, so now we both go together when we can. All things considered, since then, things are back to normal and going well. We're both children of divorce, so even before all this, we were doing prophylactic couples counseling every few months, and for a while after, we were going once a week. Diana has also started seeing a therapist on her own, which I am so proud of her for since she's always hated the idea of individual therapy. We also stepped up our home security game. Diana already had plenty of cameras, but now we have door/window alarms and motion sensors. I also convinced Diana to get another dog, so now we have a 75-pound puppy. I know a lot of people were rooting for us to get married, but that's not going to happen. Legal marriage isn't something that interests us, and it never has. But we did buy each other rings, and it's been a great comfort to have something physical to remind me of her on my person all the time. We're also considering having a small commitment ceremony next fall. Thanks again for all the feedback on my previous post. I got a lot of great advice and some good criticism. I showed it to Diana, and she got a kick out of the comments, and we had a little mutual cry over how kind a lot of you guys were. I asked her if she was okay with me posting this update, and she clucked at me and told me to do whatever I want online as long as I'm being nice and anonymous, lol. So, hope this qualifies. Relevant comments. Commenter. It sounds like she has survivor's guilt. She should consider working with a therapist familiar with this issue. Ops response. I don't think it's survivor's guilt, more like just standard, garden variety guilt. She's had a tough time coming to terms with the fact that she killed someone, even if it was arguably the right decision. But yes, she is working with a therapist who is versed in Buddhism since the first precept, no killing any living being, is part of the reason she was having issues. Commenter 2. Screw that guy, I'm glad he's dead. Ops response. I get why you would say that, I felt that way at first too. But this kind of thought process is exactly what Diana was afraid of. She didn't want to feel happy that she had killed someone, even in self-defense. The way she explained it to me was that she believes everyone, even the worst of the worst, needs a chance to learn to be better, and killing a bad person robs them of that chance in this lifetime and forces them to start from the beginning again. Because memories don't follow you across lives, wherever that guy is now, he's still suffering the repercussions of his choices, which will continue to lead him to make more bad choices, perpetuating the cycle. I think that's the gist of it, anyway.